How to destroy a good mix. Compression on the mix bus. At my last one-on-one session with a student, I asked him to set up mix bus compression on one of my mixes. Listen please what he did. Honestly, I was shocked. Not bad, right? Now, I really want to know your opinion in the comments. Tell me guys, do you hear something wrong? If everything sounds fine to you, then you should change your monitoring, because it's really bad. I asked him why he set the compressor like this. He gave simple reasons. He used a fast attack to catch the peaks, so later he can make it louder. He used a longer release to make it smooth, so compressor does not let go too fast. Why high threshold and strong gain reduction? He said he feels the difference a lot better with a strong compression. Okay, fine. In theory what he said makes sense, but the problem is it doesn't sound good. He destroyed the dynamics. He caught the peaks really well, but now the overall loudness of the whole mix is moving up and down. It just doesn't feel right. He looped only one part of the song to set up the compressor. He didn't check it on the other parts. Listen to what happens after this pause in the song. After the pause, the first hit goes through very loud. Then the compressor just squashes everything completely. It sounds very bad. So how to set it correctly? First, big thanks to the Liverum band. Check their social media, linked below. Thanks to them, we can work on this mix. And now important thing, mix bus compression is just gentle glue for your mix. If your mix is bad, mix bus compression will not fix it. You shape the attack of kick and snare with compression on the tracks, then you glue the drums with drum bass compression, then you compress the vocals and the guitars on the tracks too, and so on. Mix bass compression is not supposed to change the whole dynamics of your song. It should only glue your mix together, when all those instruments are playing at the same time. And the main thing, it should make your mix sound better, not worse. So how to set it? I start with two things, attack and release. First, attack. For me, good setting is around 10 milliseconds, sometimes 30 milliseconds. When I use my favorite hardware compressor, I keep the attack at 10 milliseconds almost always, and it works great for me. Now release. On the SSL compressor, I strongly recommend you the auto mode. It changes the release automatically depending on how intense the signal is. So just set it and forget it, at least at the beginning. So now we only need to adjust our threshold. Let's listen. Now the mix started to breathe, but the gain reduction is still around -5 dB. If you want to keep such strong compression, there is a problem. Low end is choking the mix. Kick drum pushes everything down. In other genres, bass guitar can do exactly the same. What's the solution? It's sidechain EQ. We can set it so the compressor ignores low frequencies. I set it around 150 Hz, and now low end does not choke the mix, because the compressor is not reacting to it. If you still want strong compression on your whole mix, there is one more tool you can try, parallel compression. We have the mix knob here. At 0% we only hear the dry signal. At 100% we are hearing only the compressed signal. By adjusting this knob we can blend them together. With parallel compression, you can crush the signal really hard, but still keep some original dynamics and attack. Very nice effect, guys. Try it. Now, for my taste, it's still too much compression. Let me set it how I hear it. The mix knob is almost at 100%. I move the threshold up, so I'm getting less compression. Gain reduction is always below 4 dB. For me, this is enough. Dynamics stay natural and the compressor gently controls the mix. Last step. Check it on different parts of the song. Let's hear that pause again. With our previous settings, the mix was exploding and then quickly ducking after the pause. Now it's all nice and even. Let's hear another fragment. Focus on the vocals here. The lead vocal and the choirs in the background. Without compression, those backing choirs are not that well connected to the mix. Sometimes they get louder and sometimes disappear. With gentle mix bass compression, this problem is solved. Everything is glued together. When the lead vocal drops for a moment, those backing vocals fill the space in the mix nicely. The mix becomes more connected. Those differences are very subtle. Strong compression just makes things worse. And it's not just about the vocals, but all the instruments. Guitar starts waving randomly and get out of control. The drums lose attack. The mix sounds squashed, like something is holding it back. And now the key question. Do you hear those differences? Use timestamps under the video, go back to those examples and compare one more time. Write in the comments if the differences are clear for you. To make better, more professional mixes, you need to hear those small details. If you don't hear them, there can be two reasons. First, your monitors are set wrong. In that case, check my video about monitor setup. Second, you just need more practice with compression. Go back to your mixes. Turn on a compressor on the mix bus and try extreme settings. Fast, slow attack, strong threshold, high ratio and so on. Listen and try to point out how it changes your mix. Remember about two important things. First, always compare different settings at the same volume. Compression can easily trick your brain. A compressor can make your mix sound louder, and louder often sounds better to your brain. But it's not. Match the volume and then compare your settings. Second, if after compression you hear problems like volume of the whole mix or some of the instruments randomly waving up and down, strange loudness jumps, like after a pause or at the start of the song, low-end pumping from kick or bass guitar, then you are probably using too much compression. In this case, you need to try different settings. Adjust threshold, ratio, attack, release. Also remember about sidechain EQ and parallel compression. After mix bus compression, the mix should sound smoother and more pleasant. If it's not like that, you need to fix it. For me, this kind of compressor settings is a classic mistake. You build a good mix and then destroy it with one setting on the mix bus. If you want to learn more about mixing mistakes like this one, check my course Most Common Mixing Mistakes and How to Eliminate Them. It's filled with clear examples and practical solutions. If you like the video, give a thumb up, subscribe and see you next time.